Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. See me here at Sammy J Stitches, and it's time for a new floss tube. It's been a couple weeks, so I haven't obviously been doing the vlogs at all. So on the weekend, I want to try and recap and put out a video, and last weekend it just wasn't happening. Friday evening, well, kind of throughout the course of the day, started to get a little bit of a toothache, which, I mean, it happens sometimes, but this one was continuously getting worse and worse. And of course, it was a Friday afternoon, so like trying to get into a dentist was next to impossible without paying for an emergency dentist. I had to work that night, so I just kind of pushed through with pain medicine, and then of course that's kind of how I spent the whole weekend, was trying to just get through. I think I even didn't do a lot of stitching, and I know this whole week has been very minimal stitching. Monday I went and saw the dentist, and then Tuesday they pulled my last two wisdom teeth that really needed to come out, probably several years ago. So, and then the recovery process has been really slow thanks to being diabetic. So, there's stitching. It's not a massive amount of stitching. I don't feel like I've made a lot of progress on some of my goals, but that's okay. But we're on the mend, and it was something that really needed to be done. So here we go. I'm gonna try and kind of go through my pictures and do it in some semblance of an order, but it's been 2 weeks, so remembering things is kind of all right. Okay, sorry for the interruption. I am trying to focus on one of my full coverages, Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream, and in order to finish it by the end of the year, I need to put 100 stitches in it a day. And I was already about 13 days behind to have it finished by December 31st. And again, I didn't do a lot of stitching this week. I kept thinking, okay, tomorrow I'll catch up, and I haven't, but that's okay. We'll just gonna do the best we can. That's the thing about setting goals, is you may not hit them, but you're putting in your best effort. So I work on this ideally every day, but you know. So here's where it's at. I'm right here. So we completed a diagonal since I last saw you, and put in 400 stitches on this new diagonal. And she's looking gorgeous, as always. It's like, I just want to work on her and get her finished, because I feel like this isn't that much once you've gotten all this done. But then I know it is a lot, and even today, it took me most of the day to get those 200, between distractions and confetti and all that. So I did try and do a little bit of catch up today, but I had other things going on. Okay, so it's Mini Alice in a Dolly Dream from Jasmine Beckett Griffith, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I don't even know how far I am. I haven't looked at my pattern keeper. Like, I haven't paid attention to the number in pattern keeper for a while. Let's see. I'm at 69%. I'm at 53,900 out of 77,500. So we are getting there. So you will see her again next video, because always. All right, the next thing I worked on was I believe, y'all know I have a list of goals that I got behind on that I'm trying to get caught up on, and the next one I pulled out was World Postage Stamp, and this one needs 500 stitches a month, and I'm pretty sure I either only had January and February, so it needs a lot of catching up. And so I did get 500 stitches on it, and I was going to keep focusing on it, but other things came up. So we'll get back to it soon. But that finished up Serengeti. There was a few stitches, like some back stitching up there, and 3 white stitches that I needed to do. And then we mostly been we have mostly been focusing on these two characters because I like to kind of work my way down. But when I moved the Q-snap to get a better angle on them, I was a little concerned with how much fabric I had left. So I went ahead and worked down the side all the way to the bottom. And actually you can't see the bottom because I had to put it back in the Q-snap. Oh, there we go. So this is the very bottom border. So as you can see, we're going to have plenty of fabric, but I wasn't sure. So I had to work all the way down. And that's why there's so much of that frame done. But then I came back up here and I want to finish them too. And I believe there's a hot air balloon and some words over here before we get to the stamps down here. But if we're April, May, I think we're April, May behind. That's another 1,000 stitches. That's going to finish up quite a bit. And before we know it, June is here next week. So it's got to get some work done. But it's coming along. We have a good bit of it done. And we see the bottom now. So that's really exciting. So I will be getting back to working on that very soon. The next thing I worked on was I had my roll on Monopoly, and I landed on a property that was unowned. So obviously I wanted to purchase it. And if anybody has questions about Monopoly or thinks they might want to check it out and play it, please let me know. We're starting a new board on the 1st. So I know that's not much time, but if you'd like to get in on it, we do have a few spots available. So anyway, my roll came up on Monopoly. It's an unowned, so I need to do 500 stitches. Now, this particular location had a number on it associated to a whip on my whip list, which was Shangri-La. Not one I particularly like working on, but as I pulled it out and worked on it this time, I found a good rhythm with it, and I almost didn't want to stop at 500 stitches. I did, obviously, but I almost didn't want to. So here is where we're at now. So I have an error somewhere over here, which is why we kind of stopped there. Let's go back up here, get other things filled in so that when we're fudging, we can just kind of make it work. It's vines, so it's not like they're going to be perfectly spaced or whatever. They're going to they can be imperfect. I just need guidelines. So I was like, well, let's go ahead and just get this focused on. And so that's what I worked on. And I got this completely outlined, and it all fills in with one color. So that will be really quick whenever I decide to do that. So I'll probably save it for a bad day or a time when I just need a bunch of stitches. But I want to come around and get some more of this stuff going. So next time I'll pull it out. But this is the very bottom too. So again, we're kind of getting an idea of how much we have left to complete. Let me see if I can pull this one up real quick. Maybe on Notions. So can I view details? So this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. So you can see we still have quite a bit to go. We do. This is almost all filled in with this stuff. We've got this over here and these coming around here, but they're not massive, so they should stitch up pretty quickly. This is being done on a 40 count Wexford linen in Ash Rose, I think it's called, from Zweigart. And I'm doing it 1/2. So that there too, it kind of stitches up pretty quickly when you don't have the 2 strands, I think. So this is Shangri-La from Kesslin Designs. And we put 500 stitches into it. So it can get put up because I don't know when it will come back out again. And maybe a Monopoly call, who knows. So put that up. And what else did we work on this week? Okay, so that's it for any big stitching, it looks like. Yeah. So everything else I'm going to show you is either car stitching, or I spend an hour before bed and I stitch on one of my smalls. And so they both got a lot of progress comparatively, because those are times where I do just focus. Whereas like the rest of the time I can't. So, my bedside projects actually, oh, and we got to work on the notebook when we do this, but it actually got finished. So it's going to get swapped out, but we also got to see, where in the temperature stitching that I'm doing, did we get to. So, oh, and actually I need Notions because I erased that out of my counter app. Alright, so the one I was working on beside my bed is January Monthly Mini. This is from Primrose Cottage, and it's very tiny because it's 1/2 on 40 count. This is a 40 count even weave called Verdal, from Be Stitch Me Fabrics. It doesn't have a name, but I love their Verdal. It's amazing. It's my favorite fabric. So this ended up with 930 stitches overall. I'm not sure if I counted the back stitching, so it's somewhere in that ballpark. So super tiny, super cute. This one's finished. So on the 14th of this month, I'll be able to start the next one in this series. And so 900 stitches. Let's see how many things that completed. Look, where's mine? Highlighter, and I think we've highlighted some of them. So January 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this one will be 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we still have some on the calendar that are going to change over to whatever's next. What is that? Okay, let me go to my projects. So we picked Tricks and Treats for the other one, for Happy Halloween, when we got it finished. I do not have, hold on, let's put Llama Lump in here. I would say my Quaker, or Quirky Quaker, but I think that might be cheating myself. I'll show you in a minute why. So instead of January Monthly Mini, we're gonna have Llama Lump, and I will get that pulled out shortly. I don't know if I have it. Let me see. What is that? I don't think I have it pulled right now, because that's January Wordplay, which is already on the list. That's Chili Paws, which needs to come back out. What is this one? This one might be it. No, this is Quaker. Yeah. So I don't have it with me. It won't be the one pulled tonight. We're probably gonna go to Wordplay for my bedside one starting tonight. But anyway, so Llama Lump. So this pen does not work very well. We're gonna change to Llama Lump. And we will get to them eventually. And I haven't updated this since the 12th, so I got some work to do. But we're getting it checked off. All right, so that was January Monthly Mini. It's finished. So it's going away until I start a new one on the 15th. And then it won't immediately go back on temperature because we're kind of rotating. I'm keeping 3. So I have these sets of what I call tissue box projects. I started a bunch of them on the 14th of January, and each month as I finish them, I can start the next one on the 14th. And then I'm taking 3 of my temperature spaces and just focusing on those because I use them as bedside. I use them as my car projects. They're small and portable. But I do want the last 2 to be actual projects that need to hit goals because I am getting so behind on my goals for this year. So, that being said, after I finish Happy Halloween, the little frog that I showed you last time from Satsuma Street, that's something else I did. I started Mitten Kitten. Hold on. I don't think I got to show you that. Maybe I did, but you can see it again. So, here we started Mitten Kitten, and it looks like this. I can't remember if that was after our last Flosstube. So much like the monthly mini, it's just kind of getting stuck to the side for now. But, so my new car project was my Quirky Quakers. And that's why I was like, well, if I add it onto the temperature now and count the stitches I've already done, then kind of cheating. And kind of not. I mean, I did the stitches. So here is Sloth from Quirky Quaker. All I have left is a little bit of this brown flower and the sloth's face. And it will be finished. I've done everything else. So what I do when I work on the Quirky Quakers is I go through all my specialty threads, especially ones that I'm not quite sure where else to use them, and I find a way to use them here. So this blue is, I think, a classic color. Well, I don't know because I don't have it pulled right now. Oh, is that see? No, that's a squirrel. Okay, I'm not sure where it's at the moment, but oh, it scared me. Sloth. Okay, I'm using. Oh, it's a blue Bee Stitch Me silk. It was one of the samples that I got when I won a giveaway. So that's what the blue is. I don't even think it has a name. The dark brown, I think, is Acorn. And then the Sloth is Brown Sugar. I think that's it. Those might have been Bee Stitch Me's too. I'm not sure. Anyway, so that is the Sloth. And I've been doing them all on this fabric. And I can fit 3 more before I have to find a new base of fabric. This is Panther Cat from Fortnite Fabrics. They're not in business anymore. And this fabric was a gift from a friend. I never actually ordered from them, but so that's my super cute Sloth. And he stays in the car. He got really good progress because we were going to my nephew's graduation this weekend, and it's a 2-hour drive each way. So that's why he's almost finished, because I didn't have to drive. All right, so that catches us up on temperature stitching. That's all the stitching that I did. It's both perfectly reasonable and not a lot at all. So hopefully it gets better soon. The kids are out of school now. Like I said, I went to my nephew's graduation this weekend. We went to we did security for a couple graduation parties this weekend, or last weekend. And then this weekend we did a quinceañera. It's really been it. Not a whole lot going on. So, but like I said, my jaw is on the mend, and hopefully we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming. but it is summer, so it always seems like there's some sort of distraction going on. Like tomorrow my son has a doctor's appointment and it's in San Antonio, so it's a 4-hour drive each way. My nephew's graduation party is this weekend. We're talking about going to visit my parents. So there's stuff on the roster, you know. All right, that is it. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you saw something you enjoyed and keeps you coming back for more. If you're a returning friend and subscriber, thank you for coming back week after week. I truly appreciate you. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, all the ways that you show you love me, and I will be here next week.